Welcome back to the Whiskey Couch with me, Gustav Miller, as your host. Today's whiskey is the second in the series that I'm doing on Jura whiskies. The Jura 16-year-old DIURACH'S own. 16-year-old DIURACH'S own from the Jura distillery situated on the Jura island, founded in 1810. It says that on the bottle here, it's embossed in the glass. Probably difficult to see the embossing on the glass. 1810, that's when it was founded, and it belongs to Whyte and Mackay. Jura, of course, comes from the Norse word that means island of the deer, and it's very interesting. On the island of Jura, which is off the west coast of Scotland, just north of Islay, we've got Islay there, and then Jura over there, separated by a strip of ocean about 800 meters wide. But on this island, only, less than 200 human inhabitants, but more than 5,000 deer. So it's actually an island for deer. And this whiskey says that it is DIURACH'S own. Diurach is the original word used for the inhabitants of this island. It says on the website, I'm very fond of this distillery. I've got some good memories from visiting it. And it says one road, one pub, one community, one distillery. And I just want to add to that one island. We stayed in the Port Ashkey Hotel, and on the other side of that 800-meter strip of ocean, you can see the island of Jura and also the ferry that you take to go there, and that is the village with the Jura distillery. This whiskey matured for 14 years in ex-Bourbon casks, and then another 2 years in Amoroso Oloroso sherry casks. So 16 years all in all, and it's got a bit of sherry influence, a rich amber gold color, bottled at 43% alcohol by volume, and probably chill filtered and colored, a bit of artificial coloring added because no information to the contrary. And that is the symbol for the Diurachs, the inhabitants of the island of Jura. It says here on the gift box, in terms of the taste, enticing flavors and of moist gingerbread, demerara sugar finishing with dark chocolate, glazed oranges, nutmeg, sweet toffee, apple, and honey. So that's what we can expect in terms of the taste of this whiskey. Beautiful color, vanilla and honey. Jura 16 DIURACH'S own. Vanilla and honey. So the ex-Bourbon casks, first full ex-Bourbon casks, had a lot of influence in this whiskey. And then comes the sherry. And some sherry wood. Dried fruits and a bit of cereal on the nose. The maltiness. It's got a fantastic nose. It says on the packaging that this is the Diurach's favorite whiskey, and I can understand that. It is a rich whiskey. It is full of sherry, it's full of cinnamon, nuttiness, oak spices, and again that slight saltiness because it's a coastal distillery, so the saltiness in the sea air will always influence the maturation. Raisins, that oiliness coating your mouth, and the maltiness. The ginger coming through softly, the glazed oranges and the chocolate from the sherry casks. It's got a wonderful long finish. It's lingering the sherry, the fruit, the saltiness, some of that oak tannins, just sort of lingering, giving you balance between the sweetness and the spiciness. A little bit of a herby background in this whiskey. Not overly sweet, actually very well balanced. With a bit of water, let's see what a bit of water will do to this. Jura 16 DIURACH'S own. Little bit of water, and again you can see the oiliness as the water mixes with the whiskey. Sherry and fruit. The nose suggests that it's going to be much sweeter than it actually is on the palate. Almost like candied fruit, candied ginger and candied orange peel. With a bit of water it's even sweeter, but it's still a rich, more full-bodied whiskey compared to the very light 10-year-old. So if I have to summarize, I would say rich, fruity and oaky. That'll be my summary for this whiskey, and a very, very decent 16-year-old whiskey. Cost-wise, $60 in the US, £50 in the UK, and around 800 rands here in South Africa. If you want to pair this rich, more full-bodied whiskey with a food snack, then I'm thinking of a cracker with Emmentaler cheese, but with a tiny bit of ginger preserve on top of the cheese. So you've got the cracker and the cheese and a bit of ginger preserve, or otherwise orange chocolate, Lindt dark orange, orange intense dark chocolate will work quite well. For today I have chosen a fruit chutney beef meatball. I've cut it in half and I've put it on this skewer. So I'm going to try the beefy fruit chutney. You see, the sweetness of the fruit chutney will connect with the sweetness of the whiskey. It's a bit of a bolder snack, so it will match the more richness and full-bodiedness of this whiskey. Fruit chutney, sweetness of the whiskey, the spiciness toned down by the meatiness of the beef meatball. It is a very good match, a match made in heaven between this food snack and this whiskey. Very, very good. 4.5 out of 5 for me personally. Thank you very much for watching. Remember to share this video with your friends, and I will see you again soon for the next Jura whiskey tasting and food pairing sláinte.